Hi, I'm Komal Shah from EC Info Solutions in conversation with the co-founder Shrasi Bhalerao. For this episode, we wanted to step away from the individual projects and talk about something more foundational, the capabilities. Three terms that keep coming up in manufacturing conversations are digital twins, augmented reality, and virtual reality. They are often spoken about together, but sometimes interchangeably. So maybe that's a good place to start. So, Shrasi, what do these actually mean?
Augmented reality, AR, means overlaying digital information on the real world. You're still standing on the shop floor looking at a real machine, but you see extra intelligence layered on top. Instructions, warnings, sensor values, highlights. Virtual reality, VR, is different. It means entering a fully simulated environment. You're no longer on the shop floor, you're inside a virtual version of it. That's why VR is especially powerful for training, safety drills, and simulations. And digital twins are what powers both of these. They are the data connected digital representation of real assets, processes, or factories.
So, this all sounds cutting edge, but these technologies have been actually around for a while, right?
Yes, digital twins have existed conceptually since aerospace and automotive engineering started using simulations decades ago. VR has been used in flight simulators and defense training since the 1980s and 90s. AR has been explored in industrial maintenance and design labs for years. So, what is new is what's happened in the last 5 to 7 years.
Which is?
So, three things converged. First, data. Factories now generate massive volumes of real time sensor data, images, videos, and logs. Second, compute and cloud infrastructure. We can process and store that volume of data at scale. And third, most importantly, AI. AI has turned AR, VR, and digital twins from static and niche tools into intelligent adaptive systems.
So, this isn't about visuals or headsets becoming cheaper.
No, the real leap is intelligence. Earlier, digital twins were mostly static simulations. Today, they are living systems, continuously updated with real world data and analyzed by AI. AR used to show instructions. Now it delivers context aware guidance. VR used to be a one time training experience. Now it's part of a continuous learning loop. That's why companies like Siemens, GE, Boeing, Volkswagen are using these technologies in production, not as experiments.
So, if I'm a CEO listening, I'm probably thinking, what does this actually look like technically? Are we talking about one system or many?
So let's look at an architecture diagram. Four-layered architecture, bottom to top. Layer 1 is the foundation. The data layer formed using data coming in from the existing factory systems. Layer 2 would be the digital twin core, the modeling reality. Layer 3 is the intelligence layer, the AI, search, and assistance. Layer 4 is the augmented reality and virtual reality layer. So at the base, nothing starts from scratch. Manufacturers already have ERP systems in place, along with the MES or manufacturing execution systems, which is a software system that monitors, tracks, controls complex manufacturing processes on the shop floor, and connecting it to the ERP with production control for real time efficiency. Manufacturers also have data coming in from the SCADA and PLC, which PLC is a programmable logic controller, rugged hardware devices that execute real-time control for specific machines. And SCADA is supervisory control and data acquisition, which is a software system. It collects data from multiple PLCs and devices for high-level analysis and remote control. And then there's also data coming in from IoT sensors, images, videos, even audio that is collected from the factory floor. Then there are maintenance logs, which are being updated in real time. Plus, there is a huge static knowledge base in the form of SOPs, manuals, and CAD files. This is a system of record layer, right? The AR, VR, and digital twins don't replace this at all. They actually depend on it.
So, if this data is fragmented or in silos, everything above it struggles?
Yes, most often the biggest challenge is integration, not the immersive technology. Data from machines, systems, documents, and media needs to all come together and needs to be fresh, reliable, and traceable. Without this, a digital twin is just a model. It's not a live system.
Now we are ready for the layer 2, is it? The digital twin core?
Yes. So the digital twin is not just a 3D model. It combines a structure, that is what the asset looks like, the behavior, how it behaves under load, live data, the sensor feeds coming from the machine, history, that is the failures, maintenance logs, trends of how the machine works, simulation logic, what if scenarios. In fact, some architectures will split layer 2 into two sublayers, one for the 3D geometric model and another one for the simulation and behavioral logic. This is how manufacturers simulate production lines before building them or predict failures before they happen.
So layer 3, the intelligence layer, is this where AI comes into the picture?
Yes, this layer includes predictive maintenance models, quality anomaly detection, root cause analysis, forecasting, and optimization, and also LLMs and AI assistants. This is where our company, EC Info Solutions, also focuses its work for technology manufacturers and OEMs. So we've built AI-powered smart search across manuals, videos, and training content, role-based virtual assistants for operators, technicians, and supervisors, real-time troubleshooting that suggests the next actions during failures, multilingual translation for global training and support, and intelligent analytics that measure training effectiveness and performance trends. So this layer, layer 3, turns digital twins into something humans can easily interact with.
So instead of navigating complex systems, people just ask questions.
Yes. So an AI chatbot becomes the interface for the humans.
So what is layer 4 then?
Layer 4 is the augmented reality and virtual reality layer. How information is presented to the user. So the display technology and the interaction paradigm. This is what users can see and touch. So AR can deliver intelligence directly onto the shop floor. Boeing uses AR to guide aircraft wiring assembly. Porsche uses AR for remote expert maintenance support. And virtual reality can deliver immersive training and simulation. So Volkswagen uses VR to train workers and plan factory layouts before equipment even arrives. Both AR and VR rely on the same digital twin and AI intelligence underneath. An AI chatbot could be accessed through AR and VR.
So like a voice assistant you talk to while wearing a VR headset.
Yes.
And where does analytics fit into this?
So analytics closes the loop. We look at training effectiveness, learner progress, error patterns, and performance trends. Those insights feed back into better AR instructions, improved VR training scenarios, more accurate digital twin simulations. This is how systems improve over time instead of staying static.
So multilingual capabilities must be especially important for global OEMs, right?
Yes, multilingual translation is essential. Real-time translation allows the same digital twin training system and support model to work across regions without duplicating content and work. That's what makes these platforms scalable at an enterprise level.
And this ties into workforce challenges too, correct?
Very directly, AI-powered multimodal assistive tools allow workers to ask questions verbally, receive spoken instructions, watch step-by-step videos, and learn faster and more consistently. This accelerates upskilling, reduces reliance on tribal knowledge, and helps manufacturers cope with talent shortages.
So AR, VR and digital twins are one ecosystem built on the same intelligence stack. Digital twins model reality, AI understands and reasons, VR trains and simulates, AR guides real work.
Yes, AR, VR, and digital twins aren't new ideas. What's new is that AI has finally made them intelligent, scalable, and practical for real factories. That's the paradigm shift manufacturing leaders need to understand.